Hello, this is Jason P. Wilson 01 X-Force, and this is my DC and independent comic pull list for the week of July 13th, 2011, and today is the 16th. It is a Saturday. And first up here is one of my favorite ongoing series, and this is Red Robin number 25, Red Robin versus the Black Bat. And the Black Bat is, of course, Cassandra Cain. This is her new persona, at least until the relaunch. I have to say, not only is this one of my favorite reads of the week, this is one of my favorite comics of the month, and definitely a great cover. I love this cover. I love the new costume here of Cassandra Cain. I think it fits her really well. And it was a really good comic. Anyone who's a Cassandra Cain fan or a Tim Drake fan, this has been a story arc you definitely should be reading. Go back, pick up the other issues, and definitely pick this one up. Definitely must read for fans. Now, I do want to mention that Red Robin, Power Girl, and the current Batgirl, obviously they're relaunching that with Barbara Gordon, which is great, but I'm going to be missing Stephanie Brown. Those comics I will really be missing. All those teams have done a really good job, especially here with the team of Red Robin. They've done a great job of really developing the character of Tim Drake. When I started reading Red Robin, I liked Tim Drake. Now at issue 25, I love Tim Drake. So that really shows you the quality of the writing and the artists, how they've been handling the book up to this point. Done a great job. It's been one of the most solid ongoing series for DC, and they've really built a rich, I guess you could say, rich background for Tim Drake. There's been some great story arcs that I think would be a complete waste if they didn't take some of that and apply it to the Red Robin that's going to be Tim Drake, obviously, for the Teen Titans. It just seems like all that rich history that they've put so much time and talent into developing will be completely wasted if they don't take the best of it and apply it to the character. So I don't know if they're going to do that. Probably not, but I hope they do. Red Robin is one I'm going to miss. And with that is the next comic. Like I'd mentioned, I'm going to be missing, and this is Batgirl number 23. It is also the second to last before the relaunch. And Stephanie Brown for me from issue number 1, just like Tim Drake. I didn't know, Tim Drake I knew and I liked, but I didn't know who Stephanie Brown was. I did know who she was. I mean, I read her when she was Robin. I read some of her stuff with her, Cassandra Cain, the kind of relationship they developed, and I did love that, and I liked her character quite a bit. But again, like Red Robin, Batgirl, Stephanie Brown, for me, I went from like to loving her character. This has been a great, solid series, just like Red Robin from the very beginning, and it's so good that it's one I'll be keeping in my collection for a long time, even though, obviously, it won't be part of the DCU anymore. I love Stephanie Brown as Batgirl. This has been a good story arc as well. Again, the teams that have been handling Batgirl, they have been doing a fantastic job. It's been really solid, and at times it's been great. Love this, and really going to miss this as well. Next up is another one of my favorites. DC has a lot of those for me. And that is Batman Detective Comics number 879. This is, I believe, the conclusion of the whole Skeleton Key story arc here, that's with Gordon and his son, a strange son for good reasons. So first off, I want to say Detective Comics got me to be a Scott Snyder fan. I like Francisco's art as well. I've become a fan of his as well. Mostly Scott, though. Scott Snyder has shown me why people say he's such a great talent. He has taken Detective Comics and has made it a must-read. So because of that, I am definitely picking up both the titles that I know he's on, and that is both the Batman ongoing series for the relaunch, as well as Swamp Thing. He will be doing Swamp Thing as well. I think Swamp Thing will fit him well. He's such he's a horror writer. He writes horror very well, and I think Swamp Thing's a perfect fit for him. So I'm kind of excited to see where that's going to go. I probably wouldn't be reading it if he wasn't writing it. So yes, also after becoming a fan, reading Detective Comics got me wanting to go pick up him where he got famous for, and that's with American Vampire. I read the first trade because of this, and I absolutely loved it. I definitely recommend people picking up the trades on American Vampire. It's very good. So yes, this was really good. I really enjoyed where the story went, and it's definitely one I recommend as well. You definitely want to either pick it up in trade or pick up the other issues, because otherwise you won't know what's going on. But Detective Comics has been great. Even though I'm sad he's leaving it, I'm glad he's going to another Batman comic, because I love Scott Snyder writing Batman. It will be interesting, though. Note that, I think he does Dick Grayson perfectly. In fact, I'd be surprised if he wasn't a fan of Dick Grayson before he started writing Detective Comics, because he really gets who Dick Grayson is, and that he's the White Knight. He's not the Dark Knight, and what kind of Batman he is, the type of struggles he has, the connections with the characters. He has got Dick Grayson down more than anyone else. So I'd be really surprised if he wasn't a fan before he started writing, because he knows that character so intimately. And I'm really curious to see how he will be handling Bruce Wayne. Such a different character to write, and he's never written Bruce Wayne before. So that'll be very interesting. I almost wish that he was also writing the Nightwing comic, because I just like how he does Dick Grayson so much. But yeah, looking forward to those titles, and this one is great. And last up for my DC for the week is one that should have been in my poll list last week, and that is Batman Arkham City, number 3 of 5, limited run. This has been really fun for me. I love the artwork, and the writing has been fun. It's been good. I love these two characters here on the cover, Joker and Harley Quinn. I'm a really big Harley Quinn fan. Because of that, I am picking up her title, which is Suicide Squad. That's going to be launching here in September. But this is a really fun read. I definitely recommend you guys. So far, I guess I shouldn't judge it yet, because there's 2 more issues to come out. But I'm not worried about it. I don't think this will have any problem getting a full recommendation for me to pick it up when it comes out on trade. Even though it's a video game tie-in, don't think of it as that. It's really just great storytelling and great art. It's been a lot of fun. And next are my Image. The first up here are ones that should have also been in my poll list for last week, but for some reason, my comic store, I added Shinku, I added 50 Girls 50, and I added Samurai's Blood. And I had to buy these 2 issues, number 2s, offline, because they didn't pull them for me. And then after they realized that they couldn't order them again, I think I'm going to have to do the same thing for Samurai's Blood, which is a real shame, because then I'm overpaying for these comics. But it was worth it for me at this point anyway. If I keep on having to do that, I might have to drop them and just pick up trades later. But I hope not, because both Shinku and 50 Girls 50 and Samurai's Blood have been a lot of fun. They've been independents that I picked up. I gave them my highest ratings for their issues number 1. I will also give a rating for the first story arc when it's over. But Shinku number 2 was very good. It's more of what I liked about the first issue. And again, great cover. This could have been a bad comic, or just an okay comic for me, because the premise isn't the most original. Good-looking woman who kicks butt and kills vampires isn't exactly very original when you think of it like that. But when you read the story, the way that it's handled, the care that's involved in the developing of the characters, and the flow of the story, and the whole, no holds barred, no hold back, gore action. It all fits together to a comic that I believe, at this point anyway, is a definite must pick up. So Shinku #2 was great. And for the next comic that I recommend as highly as that, and that is 50 Girls 50. Now, one of the reasons I really like this comic is, well, it's the only true sci-fi comic that I'm reading right now, not counting FF. Of course, FF is very sci-fi-ish, but this is straight up science fiction. I really love the artwork. You can tell here by the cover, it has a very kind of 50s sci-fi type look with the whole bubblehead helmets and everything. But it's a well-written and well-developed story, just like Shinku, and in fact, even more so. The characters are very much loved by the writer, and the artist on this book is just been doing a great job, has a great feel. Very great comic, and I have a lot of high hopes. Now, this is going to be the first story arc, and if it sells well, they will come out with a second story arc. So I definitely recommend everyone to pick this up. That way we can support this comic and they can continue to produce it, because it's definitely the best of the sci-fi read that you can get out there on comics. Alright, and last up here is actually a comic I've heard a lot of great things about, but I didn't pick up the first 2 issues. This is a collected edition, which gives us both issues number 0 and 1 in one issue. And I saw it, and even though I wasn't really looking to add anything more right now, because I'm in the midst of, changing my comic saver because of the whole relaunch, and I'm ending some, and I'm going to be picking up some of those new Ultimates that are being launched. But I really couldn't resist it, because the whole premise of the book sounds like something I would really like. I enjoy period pieces done well. I also haven't read much from this independent comic company, and I just really couldn't resist it. So I picked it up and I read it, and I really liked it. This character is a very interesting one, and the artwork is absolutely phenomenal. It's great. I would say that it's kind of like a Lara Croft character, very much so, but not to say that it's a copycat at all. It's a very unique comic, and the artwork, the handling of the whole, steampunk type theme is really fun to look at. It's fun to read, it's fun to look at. It's definitely a comic I would recommend. Now, it's one of those comics that you have to put in your saver, because if you don't, you pretty much are going to have a hard time finding it, because this is 0 and 1, and now that I wanted to read number 2, which just came out, it's hard to find it. And I don't like buying these individuals online all the time, because then I end up paying more. So I might, if I can get it in my saver, I might do that. Or I might wait and just pick up the trades when they come out, because I know it's really popular, so I don't think that'll be an issue. But yes, definitely recommend this. Go ahead and pick up the collected edition and see what you think. So yes, I loved all these comics. Definitely recommend all the ones I showed you. And with that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.